What's good? Your boy Aaron Swenson's here. I'm here with Tommy Duquette. Today, we're talking about how to control distance in a fight. Usually in the first round, you can tell right away who's controlling the distance. Whoever's controlling the distance usually dictates when the exchanges happen and when they don't. So today we're gonna talk about 3 different ways where you can control distance in a fight and win. Let's get into it. The first tip is how to jam your opponent. Floyd Mayweather is a master at this, and what he does so beautifully is he keeps his weight on the back leg. 80% of the weight's on the back leg. When your weight's back, you have a lot of room to see what's coming. If I'm in the middle, it doesn't matter how fast I am, I don't have a lot of space to see the punches coming at me. But if my weight's back, now I've got all this time to see. So I can react, got more time and space to react. So when Tommy throws a 1-2, I'm gonna keep my weight back, and now I can shoulder roll because my weight's on the back leg and I got time and space to see it. If I'm forward and he throws a 1-2, there's no way I'm gonna pull off that shoulder roll. So you gotta keep your weight on the back leg. Now a couple things you can do off of that. When my weight's on the back leg, I shoulder roll. He's squared up here, just throw that 1-2 for me. Bang, bang. So it's a perfect opportunity for me to counter with a 6 or a 2. As soon as I shoulder roll, my weight's back, he has to really expose himself. I can counter him. One more time, he throws a 1-2. I'm gonna time it with the counter. That's what Mayweather does so beautifully. The other thing is jamming the punch. So if my weight's back, Tommy's gotta really commit in order to hit me. Right in my head, please. That's it, again. Try to hit me, come on. And that's when you jam. You step underneath, and as soon as you jam, you have a couple options. You can tie him up and control his arms, or you can use this forearm to create distance and punch when you want. So one more time, 2 options. My weight's on the back leg. I can counter as soon as he squares up, or I can step in and I can jam him up, tie him up, control his arms, or use my forearm to create distance. This is really underutilized. You gotta keep your weight back in a fight, especially in boxing. And as soon as your opponent commits, you step in and you jam him up when you want to. You dictate the fight.
The next thing that we're gonna talk about is something that came very natural to me as a young boxer. It's controlling distance from the outside by using counterpunching and movement. When I was a very young boxer and I started competing, I was still very scared about getting hit, right? I'd spar all the time, I'd get hit all the time, but I just really didn't want to get hit. So what I would do is I'd watch a lot of videos of Roy Jones Jr., who was the man at the time, and he'd control distance from the outside by making his opponents too scared to commit with punches because he'd always counterpunch them. So I'd be back here, just like Roy Jones Jr., and right when somebody committed, wham! I'd counterpunch with that hook and then take an angle and move them. And as they continued to commit, boom, boom! I'd make them scared to commit and control distance in that way by punching and moving. Now when we just talk about movement, one of the common mistakes that you see when people try to control the distance from the outside and move is they'll back up in a straight line. So let me show you what that looks like right now if I back up in a straight line and I don't take an angle. He's gonna start pursuing me, I'm gonna back up, I'm gonna try to counterpunch, and then I'm gonna find myself against the ropes in the corner where I don't wanna be, because I wanna be on the outside, controlling the center of the ring. What you want to do when you move is you can take that first step straight back, but from there, you're going to want to take an angle. So now when he starts pursuing me, I'm going to take that first step straight back, I'm going to control his gloves a little bit with my gloves, and my next step is going to be at an angle. Here, let's go the other way now. So I'm here, he starts pursuing me, and then I take that angle. So if you're gonna be an outside boxer and you're gonna move, make sure that you don't back up in a straight line, make sure you back up and then take an angle always and try to control the center of the ring so that you maximize the space that you have.
Last but not least, if my opponent's better than me on the outside, I've got no choice but to learn how to get on the inside in order to take away that distance if I have any chance of beating him, okay? So if Tommy and I are sparring and he's better than me on the outside, I've got to find a way to get on the inside and cut off the ring. You see, I want him in the corner. Now Tommy's gonna try to get out, right? As soon as he tries to get out, I'm cutting off the ring, keeping him in the corner where I can work from here. Adrian Granados is very good at this. When I used to spar with Adrian in Chicago, he'd cut off the ring, he'd put me on the ropes, and he'd beat the shit out of me. If Tommy's better than me on the outside, I gotta get in on the inside. Now I can roll forward, the Dempsey roll, I cut him off. Now from here, I'm working, right? I'm banging. He's gonna try to get out. As soon as he gets out, I have to cut off the ring. You see, I wanna keep him in the corner, I wanna keep him on the ropes where I can work. So sometimes in a fight, you have to adapt. he might be better than me on the outside, I gotta get it on the inside, or vice versa. So you have to know all the different ways to control distance, whether it's Mayweather style, weight on the back leg, jamming punches, whether it's on the outside,
moving, taking an angle, controlling the center of the ring,
or getting on the inside, putting him on the ropes, getting him in the corner, and banging from there.
All right, these are all things that you can practice both on a partner or when you're shadowboxing in the mirror or when you're on a bag. Whenever you're shadowboxing or you're on a bag practicing, you should always try to put yourself in realistic scenarios and visualize that you have an opponent there. So when you're hitting the bag, you don't just stand in front of the bag and hit the bag and wail away. Take angles on the bag, move, or pretend that you're on the inside and you're trapping hands on your opponent and you're trying to keep them on the inside. That's the best way to learn and build that proper muscle memory with that visualization. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to the FightCamp channel for more videos like this. I'm Tommy Duquette.
Aaron Swenson.
And we'll see you next time.
Oh,